Hello and welcome back to this episode from the ElysianNxt Podcast. I am Chris, I'm the CEO and founder of ElysianNxt. I'm here today with Dedi Liusmawan, Integrated Risk Management at Bank Jago. Bank Jago is the number one digital bank in Indonesia and was recently chosen by Forbes Indonesia as the bank number 3 for the year 2023. Dedi was responsible for the implementation of IFRS 9.NXT under a software as a service deployment model. So he's the ideal person to talk about digital banks, IFRS 9 and software as a service. Dedi, it's great to have you with us in the studio in Bangkok. Welcome.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Welcome is mine. So I'm happy to be here to talk with you about all the solution that you've offered to us.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's maybe just start with introducing to the viewers, Bank Jago. Who is Bank Jago?
Okay, that's interesting. So, if you look at the back, Bank Jago is previously a small bank. It's not even named Bank Jago. It was named as Bank Artos previously. So there's a transformation happened at that time. I think around 2019. So there's changes of shareholders in 2019. And then in 2020, they changed the name, become Bank Jago. So that's, I think, the turning point because they thought that we need to change the banking industry at that time. So their focus is more on the mass market because they knew that they need to change the lifestyle of the people on doing banking especially. And from that time, they launched the digital apps on 2021, which is the Bank Jago app. And the lucky thing is, I won't say it's lucky, but I think it's the right moment also where the COVID times comes at that time. So a lot of people cannot go to bank. Mm-hmm. So imagine no one come again to the bank, to the office because cannot go anywhere. So there was the solution of the digital banking comes, mm-hmm. where you can easily open your account through the apps, through phone. Mm-hmm. Because they launched the apps so easily to onboard new customer at that time. Yeah. And massively, it was very, very welcome. Like people now easily open the account from a single phone. And that makes our growth exponentially. Mm-hmm. Until now. Until now, we have around 5 million customers already.
Wow, just in about 3 years' time.
In 3 years' time.
That's amazing.
So it's a very good journey for us. And we have a different kind of thinking because it's a tech bank, basically. Mm-hmm. Probably we cannot say digital bank because it's not really being ruled in the regulation of digital bank. But we call ourselves more on like a tech bank because we know that fundamentally technology is the future for the banking industry.
Yeah. Would you say that the major difference between, let's say, the traditional banks and the digital banks or tech banks, as you would call it, is the way that they make it easier for people to bank, so that they make the threshold, for example, to apply for an account or to do banking transactions so much easier than the traditional players?
Yes, I will say that because with just an app or on the app in the phone, you can easily open it because previously in traditional bank, you need to go to the bank or you need to go to the branch of the office of the bank itself. You write on your phone or everything, and then you open an account. But with a tech bank or digital bank, you don't need those kind of things. Mm-hmm. It's just from a phone call away, like a video call away, and it easily that you open an account for that. And the different things also, because many banks could claim that they are tech bank or digital bank. But one of our difference is you need to remember that ecosystem plays a part. Mm-hmm. Because without ecosystem, you won't be survive as tech bank or digital bank.
Mm-hmm. With an ecosystem, what would you mean with that?
Yes, what I mean with ecosystem is you need to have surrounding finance industrial also surrounding it. Because for Bank Jago, we collaborate with one of the biggest payment system, which is, I don't know if you know it, but it's called Gojek.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Gojek and it's Goto, right? So they becomes one of our shareholders in Bank Jago. So there was a very big e-commerce platform in Indonesia. Right? You have the e-commerce platform, and then you have also the ride-hailing platform in that same. So with this kind of ecosystem, basically it's a basically it's a cashless transaction, because you don't need more physical cash. You just go to the apps.
Yeah, it's all transferred over the phone.
All transfer over the phone. Doing the payment through QR. So that's the main benefit, because you have the ecosystem and you support with the ecosystem, then you can survive as a digital bank. Unless if you don't have it, like people won't be attached to your apps. Because they will think, what's the difference with the other banks? I can still do the transaction with them. But with this, the same ecosystem with the e-commerce, ride-hailing, and now even we collaborate with the, the stocks. Like they can easily buy the stocks and they can transfer it from Bank Jago and auto debit from Bank Jago. So a lot of ecosystem. You need to collaborate with a lot of ecosystem.
It's an interesting concept. Instead of trying to do everything yourself, what more traditional banks are doing, this is kind of collaborative model. That you kind of build up a system where you partner with the different players.
Correct. That's the main key. That's the difference.
All right. It's probably extremely relevant for a market like Indonesia, where you have 260 million people. A lot are on remote islands or islands where there's not a bank nearby. And then everybody has a phone, so then it's much easier to also make those people part of the financial system.
Indeed.
That's nice. You mentioned that tremendous growth that Bank Jago has in terms of customers, and it's probably hard to predict, the growth for this year or the next coming years. When you looked around for in the whole risk management atmosphere, for like the PSAC 71 or IFRS 9 solution to generate the provisions on potential credit losses, that growth or that fast growth and no idea how what the growth number is going to be for this year. Does that play a role when you look around for solutions?
Yes, Chris, correct. Because how do you say it? We don't also expect that we grow that fast at that time, because
it's a good surprise, no?
It's a good surprise, correct. But we are very happy with the achievement. So we are very happy with those. But of course, with the good achievement, there comes a challenge of it, because a lot of big data comes into place. Where big data, there's a lot of big challenge also there, because you need to know how to use this big data correctly. And then don't forget, with big data, a lot of processing will happen. Big power need to be done in that place also. Right? And to be honest, we are struggling also, because we need to do the reporting, especially like regulatory reporting. You can imagine with minimum 5 million customer doing the regulatory reporting. That's if you do it manually. Damn, man, yes, it's gonna be very hard.
That's tough. Also hard to explain sometimes where the differences are.
Correct. And when this comes for the PSAC 71 or the ECL calculation, that even more challenges for us, because you cannot do it manually for like 5 million customer. Do it one by one in Excel. That's crazy. You won't be able to do it.
So you needed a system that could deal with big data, and also scale according your growth path as a tech bank.
Correct. Because we want to start probably small, but I won't say small anymore, because it's 5 million already. But at that time, we thought that we need to maximize our the one that we have. We don't want to already buy a big power engine or something like that, or big system, but we want to make sure that we grow. We buy system as we grow. Like, we know that probably in the future we will grow double, triple, we don't know, but we can also scale it up, the system, the technology that we will use, also scale by the time we grow. So that's also one of the consideration that
was it also an argument to choose for a deployment model software as a service, because you say, okay, fine, we need a solution that scales according to how fast we grow. And with software as a service, you basically say, okay, vendor, that's your responsibility to make sure that performance is what we expect.
Yes, because for us, we believe technology lies in the cloud. Because if we put the software or the hardware on premise, it will be difficult for us to maintain it. Because then we need more people. Like we need to hire more people just specifically to handle this kind of software. But as you know, in the banks, there's a lot of software. There's a lot of things, not only for calculating ECL. We need different kind of software to do other things, other than regulatory reporting, probably other reporting. But can you imagine if we put all those on-premise in single bank, then we need to hire building. We need more spaces on site, and we need more hardware, and we need more people. That will collapse the means of tech bank or digital bank, because we are basically branchless banking, right? So that's why we told that technology lies in the cloud, and we need to make sure that we put the system in the cloud, and we choose the correct vendor which can maintain the software, right, and also the hardware, and it can scale it up accordingly to our growth. So that's the reason that we choose the deployment on the cloud.
And who to better do that than the ones who built it in the first place then?
Correct. Because the software, the solution need also to support native cloud. Because a lot of company or a lot of software, they claim that they can deploy it in the cloud, but are you sure it's a really native cloud? Because that's the thing. That's why during the POC, we make sure that this vendor are qualified or not. But apparently, ElysianNxt is qualified, so we are happy with it.
Yeah, it was natively built, as you know, in the cloud. And correctly, as you say, some vendors, they say, okay, we put everything in one container and it runs in the cloud. But that's
Will
kind
it
of
be easily to scale up or
no?
Right? That's the thing.
It's actually the same as on premise.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit more about, how did the implementation go?
Wow, implementation. I will be very happy with the implementation actually. So I was a bit surprised with the implementation because it can produce the ECL numbers within 3 months of the implementation time. I was happy at that time because I can show the numbers to our board of management. So these are I will say that's the exactly numbers already correct, but at least they can already, ElysianNxt can already produce the numbers within 3 months, which is very satisfying for me. And it won't work if there is no good communication between our side, the bank, and also your side. And I was very happy with the implementation team. I will say the names like Adit, Yossi, Aris, Peter. I'm happy with them. They're
very happy to hear that.
They're very supportive. So whatever I need, like whatever struggling I have, I talk to them, and then they give us some solution. So that's good. That's the way that we do project. You have problems, then you try to solve the problems. You don't hide the problems, but you show what's the problems. And
no, correct. In implementation, you always have surprises. You always have certain things, but that's how you address it from both Bank Jago as our side to solve those. That's a key point indeed. You're very familiar with traditional batch-driven, risk management platforms. Now having worked with our .nxt platform, whose real-time streaming technology, what do you see as main benefits for the risk community and the usage of the software?
I think I've been in the risk and finance area for like almost 15 to 20 years. Like back ago, man, everything is batch driven. You don't even press the button. You call the IT and say, hey, what's the numbers? And they give you the numbers. You don't know the process behind it. You just hope that it will be finished. But will it be finished in time? Sometimes they say it will take 3 days, 2 days, because the batch process. Because sometimes sorry, there's a problem in steps number 3, for instance, and we need to do a rerun.
Yeah.
So to take a rerun, it takes some time again, and you cannot imagine at that time batch process driven is very, very traditional, and you cannot control it. As a user, you don't know what's the configuration happens behind it.
No.
You don't know it. You
You
don't
only
even
see the end result.
you just see the end result, and then the IT saying, hey, this is the numbers, but you don't know the configuration behind it.
Yeah.
And when it's time, if there's any changes of the regulation, not only regulation, let's say we need to change our model configuration. We talk to the IT, and then they will say, okay, we will do it, but it will take time. How many times?
Well, you probably have to call the vendor or the super
Could be
user.
find a vendor, and it will take time, like probably 2 months, 3 months, just to do a slightly changes probably to the category or the segmentation, for instance. So it's not a not good solution for me. But with ElysianNxt, with the UI, I love it because it's very transparent for us as a user. You see the configuration on the screen. You know where the configuration happens, and you click the button, you run the result by yourself.
So you're in full control.
Full control. You don't need your IT, like you call your IT, hey, can you do this configuration? Can you change it, or can you run it? No. So it's fully we remove the dependency with the IT.
Yeah.
So I like it. I mean, even with the versioning, because for us at Bank Jago, there's a lot of configuration can happen, and because our business rapidly grows, business changes very fast also.
Yeah.
A lot of partners coming in, a lot of credit proposal coming in. So you need to change your model at that time.
Yeah.
And with this kind of solution, we can also maintain the version, meaning what we already do before with that kind of model. Let's say model A, now you have your model B, you can track your changes. That's the one thing I like with the...
So you can test it out, try it out,
Yes.
compare it to what's running for the moment, see the differences.
Correct.
Yeah.
See what's the difference if I'm using this model and the new model.
Can anticipate.
I can anticipate. Correct. Yeah. And I can tell the board of management, hey, if we run this kind of model, this will be the impact, because management love it. They love to see the numbers because they know, okay, if we change into this model, this will be the impact.
Yeah,
These are the numbers.
On the P&L, so,
direct hit in the P&L, correct. Yeah. So, just recently we just update our model actually to the actual data until the Q1. So even yesterday I presented to the board of management to see, hey, this will be the impact if we change our model. These are the numbers. Yeah. Yeah. And they can easily take decision because of that.
Yeah, you can make a qualified judgment.
Qualified judgment.
You know the impact.
Yeah. As previously, I think in traditional batch, if you want to get that result, man, I think I need 1 month. But for this, I only
sandbox.
Create another sandbox environment probably, yes. Yeah. To check what are the difference. Yeah. But for this one, it's very fast. I think I only do it less than 3 days, 2 days, I think. Yeah.
Because without the need for IT.
Without the need of the IT. Yeah. You just simply change the configuration, make another version, which is good. Yeah. The audit trail is there. Yeah. If you want to go back to the previous model, can easily change. Yeah. So it's very nice.
Yeah. I mean, normally on a 5 million customer basis, I remember that traditional IFRS 9 batch-driven system would take sometimes 48 hours to calculate the ECL result. How does that compare to the performance that you've witnessed?
Yes, even before we have the solution comes in place, for us to do the calculation, because we also do it manually and I would say a bit batch process also, because you have all the steps and the manually. We do it, it took almost 1 full day actually. Wow. Yeah, but of course it's not really accurate because still some shortcut we do it because but it could take almost 1 full day. But with this kind of solution you gave with native cloud, also with the proper configuration, proper hardware in the cloud, for us to do the end-to-end, it took around 6 up to 7 hours, which for us is acceptable. At least we run it at night, and then we can see it in the morning. So it's very good. So we can already see the numbers. That's end-to-end, I will say. But if we only run the ECL, let's say I only change the configuration to run the ECL, it will only took like 1 or 2 hours.
Yeah, because the data is already there, so you just need to run the cycle. Yeah. That's one of the main advantages I find is that it gives the end user the power to do what if scenarios, change some things, try it out, without being scared to break something.
Exactly. With the versioning, I love it because I don't need to be afraid if I broke something, then I can just refer it back, roll back to the previous model or the previous version. So
no need to call IT for a sandbox environment. You can all do it on the same environment.
Exactly.
That's beautiful. Yes. Look, no solution is perfect. So where would you say where can we still improve the .nxt solution?
Yes, it's a good point. For that one, actually, I have a feedback for the features, like the things that currently is a bit similar with the batch, which is the inbound process because when we see the inbound process, it always comes from the data source, right? And it consumes the data source and it put it into the system. I think that part always be there. I will say it always be there because you want to have an automation for that one. But in case we want to have a simulation, let's say a simulation for a certain contracts, let's say 1 contracts or 10 contracts, let's say, we want to see, let's say there's a new customer coming on board from the business. They said, hey, Dedi, we have a new partnership. We have a new credit proposal from this client. What will it be the ECL number if we... What will be the impact? Think about it. If we go to the IT and say, can you fit this one single contract from the data source, put it into our system, that will be a very hurdle.
No, it should be like an Excel kind of upload.
Correct.
Say X number of contracts, 100,000, whatever.
Yes.
And then do a separate run on these.
Correct. So it will be very good if there's a separate pipeline to put the data into the system and to see what exactly the numbers. Because that can be used also for business decision. They will say, because they will
certainly
say,
in your business model where you work with a lot of partners to say, before we're getting that partner on board, let's have a look at the impact on our provisions.
Correct.
I see the business case.
Because they want to know, will this partner give us more benefit or it will be less benefit to the other partner? So
no, true. I see the business case.
For us, for now, it will only be used for us, for the risk department, because we run the ECL and we do it for regulatory purpose, right? But if the business can also take into place with the system and they can upload several number of customer or contracts, they will also be actively using the system and they will say, this.
And you really attract the business users.
Correct. It will be benefit more from the business user and they will love it.
Okay, I will take that on board. It's a very interesting business case.
Probably the second one. Nowadays there's AI took in place in the industry.
It will all kill us within 10 years.
With the new, I would say, I think ChatGPT, you already know it. Like it's a killer, right? AI is nowadays a trend. So I think if this kind of AI can also be embedded in the solution, that will be a tremendous things.
Because you can say, why does my numbers go that way?
Correct. Because sometimes when I run the numbers, you do have the variance to check what will be the difference, but sometimes to really understand what's
the main driver,
what's really causing the changes, if I can get that answer from an AI, that will be very, very powerful.
That's a very interesting point. But we're not going to call it AI. We're going to call it EI. Elysian intelligence.
Nice.
No, but that's a very good 2 points, which I will certainly discuss with our dev and product team. Thanks for those suggestions. And Dedi, thank you very much for joining me today for this very interesting chat on digital banks or tech banks, IFRS 9 and software as a service as deployment model. Thank you viewers for watching this episode, and if you're more interested to know more about ElysianNxt or how we can help you to bring your risk management to the higher level, please visit us at www.ElysianNxt.com. Thank you for watching.